Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome to the MMA Fan Show. I'm Stu Whiffin. Joining me always, Mr. Blake Harrison. You all right?
I'm good. Why were you just waving? Were you
Saying
waving at
hello.
me?
No, I was saying hello.
That was so weird.
It's a visual as well.
But you did it. Even that visual
It
just
would
look.
have
You
been
look a
weird
bit
if you waved
simple.
back at me.
You just like, and then you didn't say anything. It's not like you went hello and you didn't wave while saying hello. You waved with a weird little grin on your face,
Stop
and
dissing.
then
Stop.
you said hello.
Right, stop dissing my fucking acting credentials. All right. Okay. You're the professional, right? You show me how you would have done that
No,
intro. No,
that
with a
was
wave.
that.
No,
That
do it with
wasn't
a
acting.
wave, and don't
That
pull
wasn't
that
acting.
face.
I'm not having a go at your acting. I'm having a go at you as a human being. What was that? What I don't know what that was. Did your brain malfunction? Did you think you were on some kids' TV show?
I don't know.
Are you the new Mr. Tumble? What's going on?
I don't know. Anyway, we're here today to talk about UFC. Oh dear, oh dear. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know if people can tell just from hearing me, but I did a voiceover today, so I wasn't strictly on a day off. But this has been and tomorrow I actually have nothing going on, no self tapes, no voiceover, no nothing, and it's like the first day in what feels like 2 months that I've got literally nothing to do tomorrow.
Don't want to run a marathon for me, do you?
No, I don't. But please tell us about your marathon, which I've got the link to and I'm about to donate to right now.
Fantastic. Well, by the time this comes out, it all would have been done. All would have been done. We're recording this on Tuesday evening, and I will be running a half marathon tomorrow for the Treetops SEN School in Thurrock. The link to, if you care to donate, which will be lovely, will be in a recent post that we've done on our Instagram. So, yeah, go and have a little look on there. It'll be in the stories or on the, what do they call the main bit? Is it called your grid?
Your grid.
Your grid.
Your grid.
Right.
I don't know what's more rude, the fact that I haven't donated to your incredibly worthy cause yet, or if I was about to try and donate whilst we were in the middle of a podcast.
I don't think you come out of either particularly good.
Not good, is it? None of it's good.
Well, look, I'll tell
Blake
you what...
Harrison hates charity and is rude.
Well, look, if you don't want to donate to me because it's nearly Christmas, I understand. But you're out buying presents, so if you do want to spare a little shekel, then throw it the way of Fat Candy, because they do some sweetie treats which are a perfect Christmas gift. They are freeze-dried sweets. It's all your childhood faves, all your modern classics, all freeze-dried, and they are available by our official sponsors, which is Fat Candy. And if you use... There is a jingle as well. There is a jingle. I nearly forgot. Blake Harrison, the jingle.
Sorry, I'm just going to get the tempo right in my headphones. Fat Candy.
There you have it. And yeah, if you use the discount code SWEETMMA, that's Sweet MMA, you will save yourself some money when you go shop to buy your sweetie treats at Fat Candy.
Genuinely a brilliant stocking filler.
Absolutely. And go give them a follow on the Insta or on TikTok and go and have a little look at what they do, because they do some good stuff. Right. Speaking of good stuff, UFC 323.
Oh, yeah. Some good fights on here. Some really, really good ones. Some that I wasn't even aware of. Some real kind of hidden in the undergrowth is a fight that we all really want to see. But we will get onto those. The main event, I don't know. How excited are you for the main event? Because it's tricky. For me, it's two incredibly high-level guys, but I cannot get the taste of the first fight out of my mouth. How do you feel about the main event?
Okay, so the main event for anybody that's living under a stone is Merab versus Yarn. Obviously, the bantamweight title fight, the rematch. The first fight was so convincing. I don't know. I've been watching some stuff on YouTube, like some of the UFC stuff they've been putting up, and they've been following Petr Yan in his camp and stuff like that. And And obviously, I actually watched a video of him and his coach rewatching the first fight, and obviously they could see the flaws and the holes in Petr Yan's game for that fight. Now, Petr Yan, I think, he's a fantastic fighter, and I don't know. You can look at that fight and see where your flaws are, and try and improve on that. But in the meantime, since that fight, I think Merab's got better and better and better as well. And I don't know how you train to fight Merab. I think he's just a different. Like at the moment, I just think he's different level.
I think you're probably right. I mean, look, if Jan wins, I think it will be a bit of a shock, just because of how dominant that first fight was. Like, it wasn't competitive at all. We talk on this show about like the 50-45s aren't always created equal. You can have a 50-45 between Umar Nurmagomedov and Corey Sandhagen and go, yes, Umar won every round, but every round was quite competitive.
Yeah.
So Sandhagen, the judges' scorecards don't really do Sandhagen justice. But then you see a 50-45 the way of Merab versus Petr Yan, and you go, Jesus, that was an absolute domination. Yan he had no answers for any of it. And I don't know that I want to watch another 25 minutes of that, which is the problem. Having said that, outside of the actual fight in the cage, there's something at stake here, particularly when it comes to Merab, in terms of this will be the first time ever, I believe, that a UFC fighter will have defended their title 4 times in a calendar year. That's quite something.
Yeah.
That's, he
convincingly.
Yeah. And so who is it? It's Sean O'Malley, Umar Nurmagomedov.
Corey.
This isn't in the actual order. Corey, and then Petr Yan. I mean, they're all top guys. Yan, former champion. Sean O'Malley, former champion. Corey Sandhagen fought for an interim belt. And Umar Nurmagomedov, the guy that was he undefeated? Or I can't remember if he was undefeated or not. But he, was the guy that everyone was anointing, including me, I have to be honest, as the next guy at bantamweight, that unstoppable force at bantamweight. That's 4 incredibly great title defenses, because removing the fact that Petr Yan lost so convincingly to Merab only a little while ago, I guess, Yan since then has been on a 3-fight win streak against decent opposition, against, like, I can't remember who it was now, but it was like Song Yadong was in there, Marcus McGee, and I can't remember who else now, which I will find out in a minute. But it's just, these are really good wins, good fighters. It's not an easy. It's not like, Islam Makhachev was never active enough to get 4 in a row. But if Islam Makhachev beat Volk on 12 days' notice, Renato Moicano on 3 hours' notice, or whatever it was, and then someone else, you'd go, yeah, but that's not the case when it comes to Merab. He is really beating the best of the best. 4 in a year. That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, so look, if we look at, are there going to be adjustments that are going to make that much of a difference, or do you think, like, Merab's consistency is just he's just going to give him way too much of an advantage?
Well, because I've been so busy, I haven't had time to rewatch the first fight. And again, it would have been hard to rewatch it because I just wouldn't want to put myself through it necessarily, because it wasn't the most exciting affair. The obvious adjustments would be, I suppose, keep distance. But we've seen fighters like that have real, genetic strength in the sense of, like, Sean O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen, where it's like keeping distance is what they should be all about. They're very long rangey fighters, and they couldn't do it. So I don't know how Petr Yan's going to keep distance. Now, Yan actually has fantastic grappling as well. Yan's a brilliant grappler, great trips. He can scramble on the ground. He's a good grappler, but I just don't I don't think Jan has the tools to beat Merab, because the other thing is, Jan's a fantastic striker. He might be able. I can see a world in which Jan times a knee as Merab's coming in. But the thing is, Merab is so durable. He's so durable that, like, even if Merab gets clipped with something big, he still somehow just keeps fighting and diving for your legs and all these things. And
If
I
you're
mean, he's a guy.
Go on, sorry.
Go on. No, he's the guy with the most takedowns in UFC history, I believe. I think it's like 117. I think I saw in some statistic earlier, the most takedowns in UFC history. I'll be amazed if he doesn't add to that on Saturday night.
Oh, 100%. And if you're sitting on your stool about to get up and go into them championship rounds and you're looking across the octagon thinking, got another 2 rounds, and the person standing opposite you is Merab, you're thinking, oh, for Christ's sake, look at him. Yeah. He's having the time of his life.
He is. He's mental, isn't he? But the thing is, it's like, what I wanted to ask you is, 4 title defenses in a calendar year. If he gets it, I know he's still got to get through, Jan, but we're assuming he will. Will that be done again? Who do you think could do it again if so? Or do you just think there's no way that's getting done again? 4 title defences in a year.
I think if you maybe asked me that 2 years ago, I might have said Pereira. But currently, I don't know. I don't know
that anyone will do it, because I think most fighters are not as active as Merab. Given what happened most recently, people might, not like this take from me. But I think someone that potentially could do it is Tom Aspinall.
Mm-hmm.
Just because when you look at Tom's average fight time when he's not getting jabbed in the eye, poked in the eye. I meant finger jabbed. When you look at his average fight time, it's like 2 minutes.
Mm.
So when you're a fighter that is like potentially knocking someone out after just 2.5 minutes or something like that, and also you're a fighter that doesn't have to cut weight, which is a huge impact.
Yeah.
Kickboxers, where you're not cutting weight so much, they fight every few weeks. MMA fighters, the weight cut is one of the big problems with them competing multiple times a year.
Mm-hmm.
And for an athlete that won't have to cut weight, like a Tom Aspinall, who's young, who needs contenders, I think he potentially could do 4 title defenses in a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If the UFC let him, and if obviously, we saw the start of the fight with Gane where he lost a round, doesn't mean he was going to lose the fight, but that's certainly going to be an interesting one going forward. But I can definitely see Tom Aspinall doing something like that, potentially. But other than that, there's no one that really springs to mind as someone that could go for 4 title defenses in a year.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I'd say, like, who you picking on this, but I think it's pretty clear, isn't it, that I think we're both probably leaning that this could be another textbook Merab performance.
I think, look, I wouldn't be surprised if Jan makes some adjustments and makes it a more competitive. And it's going to be another 50-45. It could be another, Corey Sandhagen style fight. I don't think it's going to go the way of like an Umar Nurmagomedov, where it was that close and Umar was 2 rounds up. But maybe. But I can see Merab pulling away, particularly in the later rounds. And, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins like 4-1 or maybe 3-2. But yeah, I'm picking Merab to win for sure. Let's say hypothetically that Merab doesn't win. Who would be your fighter of the year? Off the top of my head, I would go Islam. Just for 1 title defense at lightweight, then stepping up and winning a belt. I think that's pretty good going.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't like it, do you? You just don't like his style of fighting, do you? It just rubs you up the wrong way.
Yeah. I just like. Yeah. Do you know what?
Can't hate the greatness, mate.
No, you
Don't
can't.
hate greatness.
That's what winds me up. Like it, and it's so dominant. It's so
Yeah,
dominant, and like, but it's boring. There.
yeah. How
And
many title wins has Pantoja had this year? I
do you
wonder if
know
he
what?
would be up
I'm
there.
looking at my notes here for Pantoja, and I mean that guy ain't put a foot wrong, and
No, he's not. I'm just trying to think how many title fights is it? Because if he wins again here, and it's just going to have to look this up now. Just opened up Tapology. Yeah, he's only had one title win this calendar year, so two title wins that ain't going to get you fight of the year, I don't think. Although
well,
that's literally what Islam's done. Two title wins won't get you fighter of the year. How many title wins Islam had? Oh, two, yeah. Two. but he's gone up in weight.
yeah,
He's gone up in weight. Come on.
there's your escape clause there. He's gone up a weight,
Yeah.
mate. Fair
I
play. Fair play.
love that logic, though. Oh, you can't get fighter of the year if you only won two title fights. How many Islam? Two. Two, just the two, but they're different. He went up in weight.
Well, look, should we talk
But yeah,
Pantoja?
maybe there's someone I'm not thinking of. I'm trying to think now. I mean, Ilia Toporia's only had one fight this year, isn't he?
Yeah.
Great fight, Charles Oliveira, knockout, incredible. And that was a move up in weight as well, but just the one. I'm trying to think of who else there is. Alex Pereira lost, but then he won his belt back. Yeah, I can't think of anyone I'd say fighter of the year. I mean, Valentina Shevchenko, what's she done? Two?
Yeah.
Was it Manonfiorot and Zhang? That big fight, the Zhang fight, but yeah, I think you've got to give it to Islam for moving up in weight.
We'll discuss that at the end of the year show. But in the meantime, let's talk about Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van for the flyweight belt. I've been so impressed this year with Josh Van. He has looked like a force of nature, and look where he's found himself as the year ends. He's fighting for the belt, and he's looked devastating on his journey to get there. I think this comes down to experience and that sort of championship composure that Pantoja has versus probably the confidence of a lad that is on an absolute tear at the moment, and whether or not there are levels at this point in the flyweight division that Pantoja is just in a different one. I don't know. I think we might see an upset this weekend.
Oh, well, I tell you what, if he did, again, Merab would have to lose, and I still think Islam's fighter of the year if Merab loses. But Josh Van would have 4 wins in the UFC this year, and he would have dethroned a dominant champion to become a 24-year-old champion. He's 24 years old.
There's confidence at that age.
24 years old. There's just, stupid, naive confidence.
Yeah.
Only a 24-year-old's going to go, yeah, go on, Pantoja, let's do it.
But does he get that confidence, knocked out of him over 5 rounds by a seasoned champ?
I mean, does he get it choked out of him inside 1 round? That's the question I want to know. How does Josh Van deal with Pantoja grappling at him? Again, it's fascinating. You've got Pantoja who, he's getting on a bit, particularly for a flyweight. Harold's probably 35 for a flyweight. That is getting on a bit. But he's been so dominant and so fantastic since becoming the champion. He's just been taking people out left, right, and centre. And even before that, he was taking people out left, right, and centre.
Really don't get the credit he deserves.
He doesn't. He should be. I mean, I don't know where he is on the pound for pound list. I know this was a conversation of debate a little while ago, and we got involved in this, and we were saying, I think Pantoja was like ranked 8th in the pound for pound, and we were like, he should be way higher than that. Where he is today is 5th, which is better. I don't know how I feel. Hamzat Chimaev is 4th, and we know Hamzat Chimaev is unbelievable, but he's not done it at the same level as Pantoja in terms of like fighting, the next elite guy up. Because he's not defended the belt yet. He's not had the chance to, but he's not been a champion. But then he is undefeated, isn't he? I think Chimaev. So, yeah. So I don't know, but I do think Pantoja does deserve way more credit than he actually gets. But this is a cracking fight. I mean, there's a world here in which Pantoja takes Josh Van down within the first minute and just does what Pantoja did to a lot of fighters, and he just chokes him out, easy peasy, quick night at the office. Pantoja walks away with yet another title defense. But equally, maybe there is a world in the way, that young 24-year-old, the exuberant Josh Van comes in and just wings punches and just is reckless, throws caution to the wind like a youthful fighter would do, but he lands. He lands something big, and all of a sudden we're all jumping off our sofa going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it could happen.
It's a big year for stuff like that. Michael Morales is doing it. These
Yeah,
young
good
fighters
point.
throwing big wild hands, and they're taking out legends. And yeah, I've just got a feeling that Josh Fan is his year. I've just got a
Well,
feeling.
like Marab, Pantoja is bloody durable. Pantoja is a bit of a zombie.
Mm.
Pantoja, like even more so than Marab, I think. Like Pantoja is an
Also,
absolute.
so's Josh Van. Look at what him and Royval went through. Like,
I don't think I've seen enough from Josh. Like that was an incredible fight, but Pantoja is like, I don't know. He's like the undead Brazilian, like just zombie man. He's just he just. I've seen him get absolutely battered and
Yeah.
just keep walking forward. He just doesn't relent. He's constantly moving forward. It must be so just, I don't know, demoralizing to be hitting this man with shots that would have, if not put other people away, it would have definitely made them take a few backward steps, and then you can put the pressure on. He just eats it and keeps coming forward, and he's throwing strikes at you. He's trying to get you down. Pantoja is a fantastic fighter, and my opinion is that Pantoja will test him in the grappling, and from that he will get him down and he will finish him with a submission. I'm anticipating seeing something in Josh Van's game where we go, okay.
Well, if anyone's going to find it, it's going to be Pantoja, of course.
And I think Pantoja will potentially exploit something there, and then we'll see other fighters that have got, wrestling and grappling credentials using the same game plan on Josh Van. But the thing with Josh Van is he is very young. He's very young, and he definitely is on the right track to do something special in this sport. And he could fill those holes in his game. Absolutely could fill those holes in his game. But I feel like maybe this is a step too big, too soon for Josh Van.
Well, look, two other fighters that are going to be watching that fight very closely, I'm sure. Maybe both the winner and the loser, because they could be fighting in either one of those fighters. And that's the fighters that are next on the bill, which is Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Moreno. What do you make of this one, Blake Harrison?
Well, I'm really interested in it, but part of the kind of question here is obviously, is the winner of this going to be able to fight? Let's say Pantoja wins, Pantoja next, and I want to get onto that. But there's other possibilities for Pantoja if Pantoja wins as well. Did you see Kyoji Horiguchi come back the other week?
No.
Horiguchi came back and beat Ulanbekov, so he's now ranked in the UFC again after taking time out to fight in Japan.
I did watch that.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
I did watch that.
Yeah, and he got on the mic and he said, "Pantoja, where are you? You are my teammate, but I don't care. I will beat your ass." And you're just like, this is great. This is like two teammates. Clearly he said it, I think he meant it, but it was an element of tongue-in-cheek about it. He knew what he was doing. And I like the idea of two teammates going up against each other. Maybe Pantoja and Horiguchi will be next up if Pantoja gets through Josh Van. But equally, the next fight for Pantoja could be the winner of this one that you just mentioned, Brandon Moreno and Tatsuro Taira.
Do you not think there's a world where Pantoja goes up?
It's possible, but I think it's less likely.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's less likely. I think if now that Horiguchi's there, if Tatsuro Taira wins this fight, I think that's a fresh matchup for Pantoja.
That, yes. Do I want to watch Moreno Pantoja again? I'm not that excited. And look. I'd
be excited for it because I think it's two brilliant guys, and I think they would put on a good fight.
It is.
But it's hard to sell it. It would, if you include the Ultimate Fighter fight, Pantoja's already 3-0 up against Moreno. It's a tough one to get to sell, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'm excited for this fight. I think this is a really good fight, though. And yeah, I think Brandon Moreno he's just the guy that's just not as good as Pantoja. He's probably the best in the world apart from Pantoja. And I think he's going to show that he's the number one challenger on Saturday night. I think he's just so well-rounded. I think he's fantastic. I think he's so likeable as well. He's such a cool lad. But I just think in a division where maybe fighters get overlooked for how good they are, as we mentioned earlier, someone like Pantoja fighting Brandon Moreno again, I don't think brings fresh eyes on him or gets people talking about him. Like perhaps if he went up, I think that could be a really good way of getting them eyes on you.
Do you want to go up though? Like I think Pantoja's effectively said he's happy at flyweight. He doesn't need to go up. The cut isn't bad for him or anything. On top of that, if you go up in weight, you have to fight Merab. I don't see why you would want to do that. The other thing is, the UFC are in a habit now of going, oh, you want to move up? Vacate your belt.
Good point.
And if you're Pantoja, why would you do it?
I hear you.
Why bother? I just don't see why you would do it at this rate. So, yeah, I can see him sticking around. Taira is only 25. There's a lot of youth in this flyweight division. I'm trying to think who Taira beat a little, or was it Josh Fan? But Josh Fan beat them. Hang on a second, I'll find out. But basically, Tatsuro Taira is only 25. I think Albazi's relatively young. Ray Tsuruya, hang on, what is it? Tsuruya is only like 23. And then you've got Lonnie Kavanagh coming through as well. I know he did get beat a little while ago, but you know, there's a lot of young guys coming through. How old's Brandon Royval as well? I don't think he's old. Do you know how old? Royval is 33. I thought he was younger than that. I thought Moreno was older than what he actually is. Do you know how old Moreno is?
No, go on, tell me.
31.
Wow. But I
thought Moreno was like 33, 34.
Wow.
So he's only 31. There is a lot of youth coming through in this flyweight. Obviously, I'm not including Moreno in that, but like Josh Fan, Tsuruya, Tatsuro Taira, probably quite a few others that I'm forgetting as well, all coming through in this flyweight division. And there's got to be a passing of the torch at some point. I mean, Pantoja at 35, as we've mentioned, he can't keep doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe Tatsuro Taira, who is, you know, more of a wrestle-heavy fighter, really, I think. If he does something here against Moreno, he's got to be next in line, isn't he? Because he's young, and he's a fresh matchup for Pantoja, and they need fresh matchups for him.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Having said that, I do think Moreno is so well-rounded.
Yeah.
That I think he'll be able to keep it on the feet.
I agree.
As much as, you know, for long periods. And when it's on the feet, I would favour Moreno.
100%.
So that's how I see that going.
There's some more bantamweight action going on. I guess it's the old guard versus the fresh-faced Peyton Talbot. He's obviously facing off against Henry Cejudo. Did not see this fight coming. No. And I'm not mad at it.
Do you know what? I put exactly the same thing. I put this feels mad, but I kind of love it.
Yeah.
It is. it's not a fight I thought was going. Talbot is unranked,
Hmm.
and we did see a gaping hole in Talbot's game a little while ago when he fought Ronnie Barcelos, and Barcelos was just taking him down at will.
Mm. So I'll tell
Since
you
then,
what,
he's come back.
give him Henry Cejudo.
Give him the Olympic gold medalist. Yeah, why not do that? But I tell you, but it is sort of interesting because it's either Talbot. I mean, you can't a hole in your game that big in just a few months and then fight a gold medalist wrestler. You can't do that. What you can do is potentially catch this guy who is 38 years old. Also, the height difference is insane. Talbot is 5'10", Henry Cejudo is 5'4".
Hmm.
So you can catch him coming in when this 38-year-old has lost some explosiveness, has lost some speed, and you are just athletically better than him. Um, and what you can do with that is land some big strikes when he's on the way in and maybe put him to sleep. Um, or maybe because of the size difference, you'll be able to use that strength to kind of get back to your feet a little bit. It's going to be tough. I mean, as we've said, Olympic gold medalist. If Cejudo relies on his wrestling, I think this could be a bad night for Talbot. But Cejudo, he sometimes does fall in love with his striking a bit. Cejudo, he's got that kind of karate style stance where he's actually keeping a bit of distance, which doesn't really play into his wrestling
And
game, I don't think.
I think that karate style that you see from him, like with his striking, I think that kind of low slung in and out technique relies so much on speed,
Yeah.
and at 38, maybe that's not what it was. Who knows? We'll
But
find
yeah,
out. I
and if
think this
he's
is what all of these things is what makes this a really exciting matchup.
Yeah, and if he's bouncing in and out, he's going to give himself a lot of distance to cover to get into Talbot. And with Talbot being so much younger, so much maybe faster and more athletic, and also taller, rangier, and all that stuff, maybe that plays into Talbot's hand where he can time a strike and
Mm.
he can see that movement coming and he can time a strike. Who knows? It's one of those fights where if Talbot knocks him out in the first round, I'll be I'll be very impressed. I don't know if I'd be shocked. I'd be very impressed and I'd be like, whoa, that's amazing. But I can see it happening. Equally, at the same time, I can see Henry Cejudo taking him down at will and grinding out a very easy points decision. So
I
I can
mean,
see it going either way, which makes it interesting.
it's a weird fight for Henry Cejudo to accept. Like, what does it do for him? Absolutely
He,
nothing.
I guess, but he's also on a 3-fight losing streak.
What does it do
So
for
he
Peyton
hasn't got
Talbot? Skyrockets him
loads.
even more. He's just
Well,
beaten a
yeah,
former champ.
and he'll be in the top 10.
Mm.
So it's huge for Talbot. But I just think with Cejudo, I don't really know what else you could give him in a way because he is on a 3-fight losing streak. He wants a winnable fight, which Talbot on paper, given that Barcelo's fight is,
Yeah.
and it's someone with a bit of hype and a bit of a name.
Yeah.
So
That makes
Henry does
sense.
get a bit of kudos. It's actually probably fantastic matchmaking for Henry Cejudo.
Mm. Yeah. All right. Jan Blachowicz. He's fighting Bogdan Guskov. It's weird. You sort of forget about Jan Blachowicz, don't you? And it's like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I know it sounds
I do
stupid,
know what you mean.
but like, he's one of the greatest like heavyweights, in the division, and like, you just sort of go, oh yeah, Jan Blachowicz, yeah, of course he's up there. He's in the thick of it, but he
Well,
just
he
seems.
hasn't maybe been the most active of late. I mean, he did only lose to Allberg a little while ago,
Hmm.
but he hasn't been the most active over the last few years. He has had injuries, I think. Um, the division has just moved on, isn't it?
Yeah.
The division has gone. We've got Yuri Prohashko. We've got Alex Pereira. I'm trying to think like these exciting. Now Carlos Allberg is like the young hot prospect coming through.
Mm.
We've got some interesting guys coming through, and Jan Blachowicz, yes, has sort of been left behind. Jan Blachowicz as well, 42 years of age. I
Mm.
know he's probably still got all of that legendary Polish power, but I don't know. I'm wondering if Father Time is just going to tap him on the shoulder in this fight and say, "Yeah, I think you need to call it a day soon, mate," because Bogdan Guskov, he lost his debut to Volkan Oezdemir. Since then, and losing your debut, that happens to fighters all the time. That I don't put much stock in losing your debut. I still think fighters can go on and achieve great things after losing their UFC debut. It happens to a lot of fighters. Um, Bogdan Guskov has now won 4 in a row, all of them by stoppage. And Jan Blachowicz, he's won 1 of his last 5 fights. And
Oh,
just to really throw back your memory here, he became the champ. What was that? Beating Reyes.
mm-hmm,
Then he won the fight against Israel Adesanya when Izzy stepped up in
mm-hmm.
weight. Since then, he lost the belt to Glover, where he was choked out in like the second round or whatever it was. He beat Rakic, good win, but it was like a leg injury. Then he drew with Magomed Ankalaev in a fight that I think you could say Magomed won, but it was very, very close. Then he had a close loss to Alex Pereira in a fight that Alex did not look like, he was leagues above him or anything like that. And then he's lost to Carlos Ulberg. So his performances haven't been that bad, other than maybe the Glover fight. His performances haven't been that bad. But the results, 1 win in his last 5 fights.
It doesn't matter.
It's not
It
good
doesn't
reading, is
matter.
it?
Like, all of them things that you've just explained, which were all good fights and all pretty close fights, it doesn't matter because no one's looking at that. They're going to cast your eye over your record, and the numbers speak. And it's a shame because I do think Jan Blachowicz is a fantastic fighter.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. I want. He's 42 years old. At some point, time catches up with all of us, and I just think maybe this is the kind of fight a guy on a 4-fight stoppage streak is not the guy you want to be fighting when you're 42 and you've won 1 of your last 5. So
again, that don't look great on paper, does it?
It doesn't look great on paper. But having said that, Blachowicz I think he's still a very good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Probably underrated in a lot of ways, but I don't know, you can't do it forever. You cannot do it forever.
No.
We've got a Brit on the card, Chris
Mm-hmm.
Duncan,
Yes.
up against Terence McKinney. This will be a fun fight because Terence McKinney is in nothing but fun fights. Terence McKinney is one of those fighters that is the definition of like get or get got. All of his fights seem to finish in basically the first round. Either he finishes you or you finish him, and it's an early night for both of you. Chris Duncan usually is a bit more someone that gets decisions and stuff like that, I would argue. But I think one way or another, you're going to see a finish here. And obviously, I'm hoping it's the Scotsman that gets the win.
He did get a finish over Jordan, didn't he? He choked out Vucenic, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Who was Chris Duncan's last fight? Who did he fight last time out?
Was it not for the Vucenic fight?
Was it the Vucenic fight?
I'm going to
think
Google
he
it.
had one since then. And
He might have done. Let me have a look at this.
I'm sure it was an absolute war. I might be wrong.
I'm about to pull it up for you now.
Do it.
Chris Duncan is on a 3-fight win streak. He lost to Manuel Torres in the first round. I mean, maybe it was unfair of me to say that Duncan usually gets decisions. He has had a few decisions since the UFC, split decision, unanimous decision, lost to Manuel Torres. And then since then, he's gone first round win over, was it Balaji Oki? Then second round win over Jordan Vucenic. And then a decision win, in that great fight against Mateusz Rebecki.
Yeah, that was it. That was a war, mate.
But again, yeah, it was a war. It was a war. And he does, I'm not saying that Duncan doesn't get finishes, but, well, it's probably 50-50. Maybe I should need to just eat my words on that one.
Absolutely.
But
Go check out our episode with Chris Duncan. We had him on a little while ago.
Chat.
And, really nice guy.
What else have we got on this card that we want to talk about? Grant Dawson is fighting Manuel Torres, who we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Manuel Torres, fantastic striker. Grant Dawson, fantastic grappler. So that's going to be kind of a classic matchup there. Can Grant Dawson get him down? Can Manuel Torres keep it on the feet?
Speaking of lightweights, I know there's a big fight on this card that you're hyped about.
I am, yes. The fight you're talking about is I didn't even notice this until we quickly flicked through at the end of
Yeah.
last episode. We quickly flicked through this card and I went, oh my God.
Mm.
Not only is Jalen Turner returning, and he's doing it at 155, which has got to be a horrendous weight cut for him, 155. The guy really should be at 170 for my money, but he is going up against Edson Barbosa, which is, you're hoping it's just going to be flying knees, spinning wheel kicks,
Yes,
like
please.
nothing boring on the cards. So I think we could see a knockout there one way or another. That'd be really exciting if that's what happens. That is one of those fights on the prelims that I'm probably more hyped for that than a lot of fights on the main card.
Absolutely. Macy
That'll be
Barber's
really
on
fun.
the prelims as well. She's fighting Karine Silva. Marvin
Yeah.
Vittori is back and fighting Bruno Ferreira at middleweight. It's a decent card, Blake Harrison.
It is a decent card. The Barber Carine Silva fight is a decent fight as well. Like Barber, I think she's on a 6-fight win streak, Barber, which is fantastic at flyweight. But she's had some issues, obviously, recently where the fight with her in Blanchfield got pulled because I believe she had some health issues, but it led to her just missing weight and all this stuff. And there's been a lot of question marks over Barber for a while now since then. So hopefully she has a good. My main thing is I want her to have a good, healthy weight cut.
Mm-hmm.
And she just puts on a good performance, however that turns out. But the main thing is you want her to be healthy and no problems in the weight cut. That's the main thing for Macy Barber.
Right, cast your eye down the main card, right? Tell me what you think is going to be fight of the night on that card. The
All
main
right, I'm
card.
gonna have to. Do you want to tell me your idea first? Because I do have to pull the main card up.
I think Josh Van is gonna finish Pantoja, and I think he's gonna knock him out.
But will that get him fight of the night or just a performance bonus?
I think he's gonna do it in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, but that's not fight of the night, is it? That's performance bonus. Unless it's a 5-round war, which it could be. I'm not saying it won't be. It absolutely could be.
I don't think it. Yeah. I don't know. I think. Looking down it, I can't see there being a better fight that night. I really can't. I do think that it's going to be good to see. Do you know what? I think. I mean, I know it's on the prelim card, and I've just specified the main card, but I do think McKinney versus Chris Duncan could be a really good fight.
That was what I was thinking. I was thinking, even if that goes one round, I can see that being a situation where McKinney lands something big early. Duncan is scrabbling and struggling, and you think McKinney's going to put him away. And then all of a sudden, Duncan lands something when McKinney's going mental, and the tide completely turns.
Yeah.
And it goes the other way, and Duncan gets the finish. Or vice versa. To be honest, it could go either way. Obviously, I want it to go the way of Chris Duncan. But that is one of those fights where the momentum could shift very, very quickly in huge swings. And that's what gives you a great fight of the night.
Absolutely.
But equally, you're right. Pantoja Van has got the potential to be a 5-round war. If Van keeps it on the feet and Pantoja is the zombie we keep saying he is, then we could have a cracking fight there.
I hope so. Anything else you want to add, mate?
I think we're done, mate.
I think we're done. Thanks ever so much for listening. Head over to YouTube and watch this. If you've not watched any of the episodes, you can watch them over there. Obviously, if you're watching it and you just want to pop it on your headphones when you're out and about, you can listen to it on all the podcast platforms. And while you got your phone in your hand, check out Fat Candy. Go give him a follow on Instagram and TikTok. Other than that, we'll see you next time for the post-fight show. Goodbye.
Bye. Well,